If you struggle with talking to people, this video is for you. But before I get into that, I want to talk about social anxiety for a second, the root cause of it. I want to talk about what's actually going on when you overthink everything, and why it feels so hard to talk sometimes. But then we can transition into how to actually approach people and make conversations feel a lot easier. Nothing complicated, just what actually works in real situations. I think social anxiety gets overcomplicated. People make it sound like this deep personality trait, like you're either a social person or you're not. But most of the time it's actually way more simpler than that. It's not the fact that you can't talk to people, it's just the fact that your brain is trying to do too much at once. All at the same time, you're trying to say the right thing, sound confident, not be awkward, read the other person, and judge yourself at the same time. And when all of that is happening, of course, you're gonna freeze up. I think anyone would. So instead of trying to be confident, you fix the process. You make conversations easier to enter, not harder to execute. The first thing that actually changes everything is stop trying to be interesting. Seriously, that is where 99% of people mess up. They think that every time they speak, it has to be something good or funny or impressive, and that is not how conversations work. The people who are the easiest to talk to aren't the most interesting people. It's just the people that make things flow. And you do that by keeping things simple. If someone says something, you don't need a perfect response. You can just react to it, ask a small question, or add something basic. That's it. For example, if someone says, "I barely slept last night," you don't need some clever and witty reply. You can just say, "Why? What happened?" Or, "Yeah, I've had those nights. It's horrible." That's a normal conversation. It's not impressive, but it works. The second thing, you have to stop trying to predict how everything is going to go, because that's what creates that hesitation. You're thinking ahead, like, what if this sounds weird? What if they don't respond well? And by the time you finish thinking about it, the moment is gone. So instead, give yourself a simple rule. If you have something to say it within a few seconds. Don't give yourself time to overanalyze it, because the longer you wait, the worse it feels. And most of the time, the thing you were going to say was completely fine. The third thing, you need to get used to low-risk, small interactions, not big conversations or trying to suddenly become super outgoing. Just small reps. Because confidence in talking to people doesn't come from thinking about it. It comes from doing it enough times that your brain stops treating it like a threat. And that could just be making one comment in a conversation, asking one question, or just responding instead of staying quiet. Nothing crazy, but just consistency. Because once your brain sees that nothing bad happened over and over again, it'll start calming down. And one last thing, this matters so much more than people like to think it does, but you have to let yourself be a little awkward. Because you will be, sometimes. I mean, everyone is. The difference is that most people don't care as much as you think they do. They move on. They'll forget. But if you're trying to avoid being awkward completely, you're never going to speak freely. So instead of trying to eliminate it, just expect it. Be okay with it. Because once you're not afraid of being slightly awkward, you stop holding yourself back. And when you put all of that together, something will change. You're not going to be sitting there trying to be perfect anymore. You're just going to be talking to people. Simple responses, quick decisions, and small interactions. All over time builds real confidence in you, and you'll be just comfortable enough to say exactly what you want to say. So if you feel like you can't talk to people right now, don't try to fix everything at once. Do not try to become the most confident person in the room. Make things easier on yourself. Keep it simple. Speak a little faster in your thoughts, get small reps in, and stop expecting perfection. Because you don't need to be amazing at conversations, you just need to be in them. And once you are, it gets so much easier. So, once you get past that first part, like you're not overthinking as much, you're keeping things simple, the next question is, how do you actually approach someone? Because that's the part that feels the most uncomfortable. The moment before you say anything, where you're deciding whether to go for it or not. And most people get stuck right there because they don't know how to talk. But because starting feels like, not because they don't know how to talk, but because starting feels like the hardest part. So the first thing to understand is approaching someone is not supposed to feel natural. It's always a little bit uncomfortable, even for people who are amazing socially. The difference is that they don't treat that feeling like a stop sign. They just move anyways. So instead of waiting to feel ready, give yourself another simple rule. Don't wait more than a few seconds. If you see an opportunity to say something, take it as fast as possible. Because the longer you wait, the more your brain is going to start creating reasons not to say something. Now, when it comes to what you actually say, this is another thing that people overcomplicate. You don't need a perfect opening line. You don't need to be funny or impressive. You don't need any pickup lines. Seriously, drop the pickup lines. You just need something normal. Something that makes sense in the moment. That's it. So here's the easiest way to think about it. Just say what's already happening. If you're in class, ask about the assignment. Make a comment about the work. Say something simple like, "Did you understand what we're supposed to do here?" If you're around people you kind of know, comment on something around you, bring up something small, or just ask a basic question. It does not have to be deep. It just has to start the interaction. And another thing that's helped me a lot is don't focus on starting a conversation. Just focus on starting a moment. Because once a moment starts, the conversation builds itself. But if you're trying to plan the whole conversation in your head before you speak, you're never going to start that moment. Another thing, pay attention to people who seem open. Not everyone is in the mood to talk all the time, and that's fine. But there's always small signs. For example, if they're just not busy, or if they're looking around or already talking to someone else casually or in a group. Those are super easy situations you can put yourself into. You don't always have to force yourself into the hardest possible scenario every time. Start where it's easier for you, and then build from there. Now, let's say you do approach someone, and it feels a little awkward. Maybe there's a pause, maybe the response is short. That's normal. That doesn't mean you messed up, it just means the interaction was normal. Not every conversation is going to be great. Some will be short, some won't go anywhere. That's part of it. The goal isn't to have perfect conversations, it's to get comfortable starting them. And the more you do this, the more that you'll realize approaching people isn't about confidence, it's about familiarity. At first, it feels unfamiliar, so your brain will resist it, but after enough repetition, it just becomes something you do, like anything else. So if you're trying to get better at this, keep it simple. Say something within a few seconds, don't look for the perfect words, start small, pick easier situations, and don't judge every interaction. Because the win isn't that it went perfectly, the win is that you went for it. And once you do that enough times, the hardest part at the beginning will stop feeling so hard. Thank you so much for watching another video. Let me know if there's any topics you think I should cover in the future, and I will be sure to look at the comments down below. Until then, I will see you guys later. Bye.